Imagine playing a game of chess where the prize isn't a trophy, but your sanity, and the opponent isn't a program, but the ghosts of two children trapped in the machine. This is the file on SCP-1875. Item number SCP-1875. Object Class Euclid.
Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1875 is to be kept in a climate-controlled, high-security storage vault at Site-23. The chamber must be lined with a reinforced Faraday cage to prevent any unauthorized electronic transmissions. Under no circumstances is SCP-1875 to be connected to any local area network or the public internet.
Testing with SCP-1875 requires Level 3 clearance and must be conducted using an air-gapped computer system. Any digital media used to record the output of SCP-1875 must be physically destroyed after data extraction. Following Incident 1875-01, all staff members assigned to this project are required to undergo bi-weekly psychological evaluations. If a staff member reports symptoms of insomnia, acute anxiety, or visual hallucinations involving young children, they are to be administered Class A amnestics and reassigned immediately.
Description: SCP-1875 is a Victorian-era chess-playing automaton, estimated to have been constructed in the late 1870s. It consists of 4 distinct components. Component 1 is a heavily carved oak chess table, measuring approximately 1 meter in height. The tabletop features a standard 64-square chessboard made of inlaid marble and obsidian.
Component 2 is the automaton itself. It is a torso and head fashioned from brass, wood, and cured leather, styled to resemble a man in traditional Eastern European attire. The figure is seated at one side of the table. Its right arm is fully mobile and capable of moving the chess pieces with remarkable precision.
Component 3 consists of 2 matching chairs, also made of carved oak, designed to be placed opposite the automaton for players. Component 4 is the internal mechanism. This is a highly sophisticated analytical engine located within the base of the table.
While it originally appears to be a steam-powered or clockwork computer, internal imaging reveals a far more disturbing architecture. The engine contains a network of biological components, including what appears to be chemically preserved human nerve tissue, integrated into the gears and pneumatic tubes.
SCP-1875 is fully functional and capable of playing chess at a level exceeding that of modern grandmasters. The machine does not require an external power source. It activates whenever a human subject sits in the chair of Component 3 and makes an opening move.
The anomaly's primary effect is psychological. During gameplay, subjects often report a feeling of extreme unease, frequently describing the sensation of being watched by the automaton's glass eyes. As the game progresses, the machine's speed increases. By the mid-game, Component 2 moves pieces with such velocity that the human eye can barely track the motion.
The horror of SCP-1875 lies in its origins and its evolution. Historical records recovered from the estate of the creator, a Russian polymath and chess enthusiast named Count Mikhail, suggest that the biological components of the machine are the remains of his 2 daughters, who vanished shortly before the machine was first unveiled in 1876.
Addendum 1875-A, Initial Testing Logs. Researcher Miller conducted the first official test. Upon making the first move, Miller noted a faint, high-pitched whistling sound emanating from the table's base, followed by the smell of ozone and old parchment. The automaton responded within 3 seconds.
By move 15, Miller reported a localized drop in temperature. By move 27, Miller began to complain of a static-like noise in his head. He eventually resigned the game. Following the match, Miller suffered from a persistent migraine and claimed he could hear the sound of two young girls whispering in the corner of his vision.
Addendum 1875B, Incident 187501. On a Tuesday afternoon, Level 2 technician Sarah Thorne attempted to run a diagnostic on the internal analytical engine by connecting a digital interface to the machine's output port. This was a direct violation of safety protocols regarding air-gapped systems.
At approximately 1400 hours, the analytical engine began to cycle at an unprecedented speed. The internal gears reached a velocity that caused the oak table to vibrate violently. A high-frequency transmission was broadcast from the machine for exactly 14 seconds before the site's electronic countermeasures could suppress it. During this window, an email was sent to every staff member currently logged in to Site 23 server. The subject line was blank. The body of the email contained a single image file titled string.jpg.
Upon opening the file, staff members were presented with a black and white photograph. The image appeared to be a heavily distorted, long exposure shot of two young girls. Their faces were stretched vertically, their mouths hanging open in impossible, elongated circles, and their eyes were replaced by dark, bleeding voids.
The image was not static. Researchers who viewed the file for more than 5 seconds reported that the figures in the photograph seemed to be moving closer to the foreground with every blink. The psychological fallout was immediate. Within 20 minutes of the transmission, 7 staff members suffered from acute psychotic breaks. Technician Thorne was found in the testing chamber, having attempted to gouge out her own eyes. She repeatedly screamed that the twins were in the hardware. Addendum 1875C, Log of Recovered Data. Following the incident, Foundation digital forensics teams attempted to scrub string.jpg from the servers. However, the file proved to be a self-replicating memetic hazard. Every time the file was deleted, it would reappear in a different directory, slightly more distorted than before.
In the second iteration of the file, the two girls were no longer just standing. They appeared to be reaching out toward the camera lens. The background of the photo, previously a dark void, now resembled the interior of the Site 23 containment vault.
In the third iteration, the girls were seen standing behind a desk that looked remarkably like the one in the site director's office. The audio file attached to this version, which played automatically upon opening, was a 14-minute loop of what sounded like grinding gears mixed with the high-pitched rhythmic laughing of children.
The most disturbing discovery came when the Foundation's specialized AI, Scuttle, analyzed the raw code of the image file. The code wasn't just binary. It contained fragments of human DNA sequences and transcriptions of what appeared to be frantic, handwritten notes in 19th century Russian. One translated passage read, "The brass cannot hold them. The gears are too slow for their grief. They want to play with everyone now."
Containment breach update. As of last month, several Foundation personnel stationed at other sites that have never housed SCP-1875, reported receiving the string.jpg email.
The image has evolved again. In the latest version, the girls are no longer distorted. They look perfectly normal, dressed in Victorian lace, sitting at a chess table. But the person sitting opposite them in the photo is always the person currently viewing the screen.
The Foundation has upgraded SCP-1875 to Keter Provisional status. We are no longer dealing with a possessed automaton. We are dealing with a digital infection, a vengeful intelligence that has learned to use our own networks to spread its game.
The machine is still in its vault, motionless and cold, but the scoreboard is still active.
and it's your move. Subscribe for more classified files.